Yeah, hi there. These comments are for HS, and you just keep on practicing, and I'm going to give you some more feedback here. So you completed, I think, lesson number 18. And let's see what we have. Okay, let me go ahead and pull up your, I went ahead and downloaded your audio file. Okay, here we go.
Lesson 18. Voice recording exercise 1.
That pronunciation right there is perfect. It is so clear. I mean, you almost sound like a radio talk show host. No joke. Beautiful.
1. More than 36 years after he made history as the first American to orbit the Earth, Senator John H. Grant Jr. will return to space as part of multinational crew with the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery in late October.
You got it. Okay, here's the one pattern I want you to keep working on. It's that ER. I'm still not convinced that you can get that. That's your British English. So let's take the word after. After. How about the word first? Senator, senator. Part, not pot, but part. So you want to be careful about the R. When it's in the middle of a consonant or when it occurs at the end as in make sure you pronounce the R at the end. All right?
2. Scientific endeavors on the STS-95 mission are not limited to furthering an understanding of the human body, but also will expand.
It's body, not body, but body, the human body.
And our understanding of the closest star to our planet, the Sun, and how it affects life on Earth.
Okay.
3. The Achilles tendon is
the Achilles, you want to say. The Achilles tendon.
A large tendon located in the back of the leg that inserts into the heel.
Okay. Inserts.
4. Starting in the late 1970s, I developed techniques that integrated the experimental rigor of the laboratory with
laboratory.
What little was then known about parrot communication in nature.
Okay.
5. Although a few other species of birds move readily on the ground and some take off from the ground, no other species possess the extreme terrestrial agility and jumping ability of vampire bats.
Okay, pretty good. All right, let's go over this one more time. You ready? Number 1. More than 36 years after he made history as the first American to orbit the Earth, Senator John H. Glenn Jr. will return to space as part of a multinational crew with the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery in late October. 2. Scientific endeavors on the STS-95 mission are not limited to furthering an understanding of the human body, but also will expand our understanding of the closest star to our planet, the Sun, and how it affects life on Earth. 3. The Achilles tendon is the large tendon located in the back of the leg that inserts into the heel. 4. Starting in the late 1970s, I developed techniques that integrated the experimental rigor of the laboratory with what little was then known about parrot communication in nature. 5. Although a few other species of bats move readily on the ground and some take off from the ground, no other species possess the extreme terrestrial agility and jumping ability of vampire bats. All right. Now here's a tip for you. Now as you are continuing to complete these practice tests, and give me just a second, the lights went out here, hold on. Okay, here we go. Sorry. So as you're doing this practice, keep that journal, that pronunciation journal. I want you to write down some of the words as I give you feedback. For example, you should put the word Achilles in your journal. You had some trouble with that. And any of the other words I pointed out in this particular video. So put these words down in your journal, and maybe every now and then you can record the list of words and then send me a written list of the words you're practicing, and you can practice pronouncing them, and I will give you additional feedback on that so you can continue to work in some of those problem areas. The one thing we can learn here from this, be careful about the medial and the final R consonant, especially when the consonant at the end is that syllabic R, Remember, sometimes in the middle of the word you might say pot instead of part, right? Instead of saying writer, you may say writer, but it's writer. So you have to remember to pronounce that. All right, so let's keep going.
Lesson 18, Voice Recording Exercise 2. Muscular strength is the ability of the muscle to create force. This is shown by how much weight can be lifted during one effort.
All right.
This is important in sports such as track and field and football, as well as routine activities such as lifting groceries or moving furniture.
You can probably work on that tone a little bit too. So if you're giving two different things, you'll say such as lifting groceries or moving furniture. So when you have that A or B thing, the tone on groceries should be rising, and when you get to furniture, that's the end of your thought group in that sentence, then the tone drops a little bit. All right, so that's another thing you can probably write in your journal, is be careful when you're varying your tone, and you can write an example in there. I could say, do you want an apple or an orange? So if I say, do you want an apple or an orange, apple has the rising tone, orange has the falling tone, because I'm presenting the contrast. Do you want A or B? Okay, let's read this one more time. You ready? Here we go. Muscular strength is the ability of the muscle to create force. This is shown by how much weight can be lifted during one effort. This is important in sports such as track and field and football, as well as routine activities such as lifting groceries or moving furniture. See that? All right, anyway, thank you for completing Lesson 18, and keep on going. Now, the main thing is, once you get to the end, once you have practiced all of the recommended lessons that I have recommended, I think, at the beginning of this course, if you want, you are moving very quickly. You seem to like going through my course. You're doing a lot of serious practice. So once you have done all the lessons, then you can do the second pretest. The second pretest in the pronunciation part of my course, it focuses on syllable division and grammatical word endings, word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, and thought groups and blending. So once you complete that pretest, it'll probably take you about 8 or 9 minutes. You're going to send that to me, and then I will tell you what your problem areas are in the second part of the pronunciation area of my course. All right? Anyway, thank you very much. And there's one other thing I think that you might be interested in doing. If you go to the speaking part of my course, you will find that I have some speaking prompts that you can practice. Right? Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can send me an email. I'll send you the direct link. I'd like you to practice some of those questions where you just look at a question, you take a few seconds to think about it, then you answer the question. Now, this is also important for your pronunciation because once you're using your own English and your own grammar and your own vocabulary, it also allows me to pay attention to some of the critical areas of your pronunciation and your speaking, and I can also point out any problems that might affect your intelligibility. So again, you can go to the speaking part of my course. I think that's step 7, and when you go there, let me see if I can help you here. Let me go there myself for just a minute. Okay, I'm going to click on it right now. I'll give you some more instruction here. I'd like to see you pick maybe as you send me a voice recording now, I want you to pick one of these speaking prompts and submit it along with your pronunciation practice. So I think it's going to be important. Okay, so let's go to step number 7, which is a speaking part of my course. Okay, if you go down in the speaking, you'll see lesson number 10, then it says independent speaking task. You'll see practice test 11 through 30. Don't worry about those. Here's what you want. Okay, after independent practice test number 30, there's a link. It says additional free choice and paired choice speaking topics 31 through 300. Now what I'd like you to do there is to click on the links. Now what you can do is you can just randomly pick any question you want. Just tell me what number it is. Just say this is speaking prompt number 44, or this is speaking prompt number 48. So let me just give you an example. So 49 says this: where do you go to have fun? Describe the place and explain why it's a fun place to visit. So then you think about that for a few minutes and then record a 60-second response answering the question. Now this is going to also be important, so I can pay attention now, not just pronunciation, but I can now give you some feedback on your language use, including vocabulary and grammar. I can also give you feedback in terms of how you're organizing and developing your points. All right? And thank you for completing pronunciation practice exercise number 18.